So in today's session, we will be discussing about the last concept in this topic, that is DNA fingerprinting. Okay, as we have fingerprints. Okay, similarly, each and every individual in the world has his or her own DNA fingerprints. Okay, so how this DNA fingerprint is done, that is what we will be studying today in our topic. Okay, so DNA fingerprinting was first discovered by the scientist Alec Jeffreys in the year 1984. Okay, hence we can say him as the father of DNA fingerprinting, first man to discover that one. Okay, and in India it was Dr. Lalji Singh who first done the DNA fingerprinting in India. Okay, so any question arises, what is DNA fingerprinting, how it is done, what is the applications of DNA fingerprinting? DNA fingerprinting is nothing but, so it is the comparison of the DNA of two different individuals to get a relationship. Okay, this is what is done in DNA fingerprinting. As we compare the two thumb impressions like this, there are fingerprinting which are obtained and those two are compared so that to develop the relationship between those two. Okay, and what are these applications, later we shall see that one. Okay, so this, to do this DNA fingerprinting, so our DNA is, so we know that our DNA is 2.2 meters long. In this 2.2 meters long DNA, so we have studied about heterochromatins and euchromatins. What are heterochromatins? These are highly stained chromatin and euchromatin is lightly stained. And heterochromatin do not take part in transcription, whereas euchromatin is transcriptionally active chromatin. Only euchromatin, we can say that it codes for the protein synthesis, the DNA. Okay, and the heterochromatin actually do not synthesizes RNA, so that no protein it codes. Okay. So if we look at our chromosomes, so there are 20 parts, what we can call it as, so like the structures you can see. Okay, so these structures nothing but it indicates the repetitive DNA. So this repetitive DNA usually we will find this in heterochromatin. Okay, and here at the tip we have telomeres. Okay, and in telomeres you will find some highly repetitive sequence, what we call it as, so here we will find telomeres. Okay, in this telomere regions and the centromere region we will find high concentration of repetitive units, so what we call it as satellite DNA. Okay, satellite DNA is nothing but the high concentration of a repetitive sequence of heterochromatin, we can say. Okay, so our DNA, what we are having, 98% of DNA will not code for any proteins. Hence we call that DNA as the junk DNA. Only 2% of DNA codes for the proteins. Okay. So in this junk DNA, we have many repetitive DNAs. So what is this repetitive DNA? Nothing but these are the sequence. So for example, if I write A, C, G, so if I write A, G, C, C, A, G, C, C, A, G, C, C. So like this there will be repetitive sequence which keeps on repeating. Okay, such a huge amount of repetitive sequence are specific for the particular individuals. So we don't see this repetitive sequence similar in different individuals. Okay, so this repetitive sequence are usually used in the DNA fingerprinting, and this repetitive sequence we also call them as VNTRs. That is variable number of tandem repeats. So VNTRs means So it is variable number of tandem repeats. So like this, each and every individual has his own particular VNTRs, and these VNTRs are hereditary. Okay, that to 50% of VNTRs are only hereditary, and this repetitive sequence are similar in the twins. Okay, that to monozygotic twins only we can see the similarities. Okay, so these VNTRs are usually used in DNA fingerprinting. Okay. Now let us see how this DNA fingerprinting is done. What are the steps involved in this DNA fingerprinting? So there are 6 major steps involved in the DNA fingerprinting. So which are those? So first one is isolation of DNA. Second one is digestion of DNA by using Ren enzyme. The third one is separation of DNA by using gel electrophoresis. Fourth one is sudden blotting technique. Fifth one is hybridization using labeled VNTR probes. And sixth one is detection of hybridized DNA fragments by using autoradiography. Okay. So these are the 6 major steps that is involved in the DNA fingerprinting. Let us discuss these steps that are involved in the DNA fingerprinting. So first step is isolation of DNA. Okay. So the DNA can be isolated from the cells. Okay. So usually DNA fingerprinting is used more in the forensic science. Okay. There are many other applications, later we shall see that. So if you observe many investigation serials or the movies, in that what they do, from the crime site they will extract what? The blood, or it might be skin, or it might be hair samples, okay, or even it might be the semen samples. Okay, so from what they do, they extract the cells, and from the cells they extract the DNA. Okay, so let me explain that one. So first one is isolation of DNA. Okay. So again it is a large procedure how the DNA is extracted. Okay, so let us not go in detail for that one. So think that the DNA is extracted. So in the test tube, so they extract the DNA. Okay, so either it from the blood samples it might be, or from the hair samples it might be, or from the semen sample it might be, anything it might be. The source what they get from the DNA is extracted. So this is the first step, that is isolation of DNA. Isolation in the sense that is the extraction of DNA. So once the DNA is extracted, so in the test tubes they add one enzyme called as Ren enzyme. So Ren enzyme is used. So what is Ren enzyme? That is a restriction endonuclease. So Ren enzyme, the full form is a restriction endonuclease. So its function is to cut the DNA at a specific site. Okay. So hence we call it as the molecular scissor. So ಇದರ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು? So DNA specific point ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು? ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Okay. So when the Ren enzyme is added to the samples of DNA, so you will get different fragments of DNA. So some fragments might be bigger, so some fragments of DNA will be smaller, or of various length it will be. Okay, so cutting of DNA, or we use the term that is the digestion here. Okay, digestion of DNA by using Ren enzyme. Okay. Now there are different fragments what they have obtained. Okay, so to clone this, ಈಗ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಏನಾದರೂ DNA ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಅವ್ರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು DNA ಬೇಕು DNA ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. Okay, so different cloning techniques or different cloning vectors they will use. Okay, one of the famous is PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction. Okay, so in this PCR, within few minutes, okay, so the DNA samples can be obtained in millions. ಓಕೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಈ ಪಿ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಪಿಡ್, ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು, ಬಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಪಿ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ದ DNA fragments what is obtained. Okay, a DNA fragment can be multiplied into millions of copies in few minutes. That is the function of PCR. Or they use some other vectors like Yakanthai, that is yeast, artificial chromosomes and back. So these are the plasmids, what you call it as bacterial artificial chromosome and yeast artificial chromosome. These are the plasmids which are used to multiply or clone the DNA fragments what they have obtained. If what the samples they have obtained the DNA, it is enough, okay, it is more than enough, then what they will do, this DNA cuttings what they obtain, so they add it into one of the instrument what is called as gel electrophoresis. Okay, so this gel electrophoresis is one of the instrument, okay, so which will be having the, so these curved structures we call them as the wells. Okay, and it is filled with the gel. Okay, so what is obtained from the some plants. Okay, so it is filled with the agarose gel, means agarose is nothing but here agar, so which is obtained from the plants like Gelidium, Gracilaria, Gelidiella, so which are nothing but the red algae. Okay, from that this mucilage or jelly like substance is obtained, what we call it as agarose. So it is filled with agarose gel and it is connected to the electric current. Okay, so two electrodes are there given. Okay, and we know that our DNA is negatively charged. Okay, so whatever the fragments they obtain, these fragments are poured into this well. Okay, so when the electric current is passed, okay, negatively charged particles move towards the opposite charge, that is positively charged. Okay, so now what happens, the smaller the fragments will move faster and reach here, so larger fragments will slowly move, okay, and smaller fragments will move faster. Okay, so like this what happens, they are arranged in a length. That is the main function of gel electrophoresis, where the fragments are arranged along according to their length. Okay, so after this what they do, so that is the third point for, that is separation of DNA by using gel electrophoresis. ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಸೊ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು, ಆ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, DNA ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ DNA ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆನ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ರೆನ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಕಟ್ ದ DNA at the particular size, hence we will find some larger fragments and some smaller fragments, and these fragments are poured into the gel electrophoresis which contains agarose gel and electric current is passed. Okay, so when electric current is passed, what happens, shorter fragments will start to move fast. Okay, and larger fragments will move slowly, hence we will find the bigger and larger fragments towards the well and smaller fragments towards the positively charged. Why it happens? Because DNA is negatively charged. Next step yadide andre sudden blotting technique. Okay, only one I am taking here. Okay, so think this is the agar gel, and here we have the lengthwise arrangement of the DNA fragments. Now what they do, for this agar gel they will add alkali NaOH, or they heat this one, okay, to 92 degree centigrade. Okay, alkali NaOH ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ 92 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡೆಡ್ DNA ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಕಲಿ NaOH ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ದ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡೆಡ್ DNA dissolves and the DNA will become what, single stranded. Okay? ಈಗ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ದೇ ಆಡ್ one membrane. Okay, so this membrane we call it as nylon membrane. A very thin membrane, it will be nylon membrane or nitrocellulose membrane add ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇವೇನು ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ DNA ಅಗಾರ್ ಜಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟೆಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ನೈಲಾನ್ membrane. So nylon membrane ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, they will come and attach. Okay, this process of transferring the DNA fragments from agarose gel into the nylon membrane, so we call it as a southern blotting technique and correct. Okay, so it is southern blotting technique. So it is the transfer of DNA fragments from agar gel into the nylon membrane or nitrocellulose membrane, we call it as southern blotting technique. Okay, so ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಆ membrane ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ this membrane, that is nylon membrane, is transferred to one of the solution where this solution contains many radioactive labeled probes. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಏನು ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ರೇಡಿಯೋಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ probes ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ which are single stranded DNA. Remember that one. Okay, and these are radioactively treated and these are nothing but the known sequence of VNTRs, variable number of tandem repeats ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದನಲ್ಲ, poured into that solution. After that what they do, they transfer this nylon membrane into that one and the temperature is taken to the normal. Okay, ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ, in the normal temperature what happens, if there is the complementary base pair, so this is single stranded DNA, normal DNA, and another single stranded DNA will be, that is radioactively probes, single stranded DNA ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay, so what happens when the temperature is reduced or temperature is less, what happens, this radioactive probes, there is a chance of forming what, the complementary base pairing with this one. Okay, so ಇದರ ಜೊತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, complementary base pairing ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, if they are present, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, ಯಾವುದು complementary base pairing ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So which are not complementary base pair, okay, which this radioactive will not pair and the other DNAs, they are washed and removed. Okay, so this step we call it as hybridization using labeled VNTR probes. ಈಗ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೇಡಿಯೋಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಪೇರಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, hence they are radioactively treated probes ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, nothing but these are the single stranded DNA fragments. Okay, so next step is detection of hybridized DNA fragment by using autoradiography. Okay? So ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, after the radioactive probes are added, now what they do, they will add one membrane on that is what we call it as X-ray film. Okay, ಒಂದು X-ray sheet ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, add ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so the band patterns which were formed here, they will get marked on the X-ray film. Okay, and when this X-ray film is observed, so you can see the band patterns like this. Okay, so band patterns ಈ type ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Okay, so now what they do, these band patterns can't be seen through the naked eyes. So what they will do, they will subject it to the autoradiography. So autoradiography is a technique where by passing the ultraviolet radiation you can see the band patterns. That is why the radioactive substance were used. Okay, so this obtained X-ray film or print, we call it as DNA fingerprint. And this DNA fingerprint is different for different individuals. Okay, So that was about the steps involved in the DNA fingerprinting. So this DNA fingerprinting next ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, so DNA fingerprinting obtain ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ now they will come do the DNA fingerprinting of the suspects whom they think, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 suspects it might be. They will do the DNA fingerprinting of that one and try to match with the sample what they have obtained. Okay, our DNA fingerprinting na ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, ಆವಾಗ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ if these bands matches with any one of the suspects DNA fingerprinting, then he is the person who is responsible for that crime. So this is the use of DNA fingerprinting, and remember DNA fingerprinting is different for every individuals in the world. No individual will have the same DNA fingerprinting. Okay, ನಿಮಗೆ last class ಅಲ್ಲಿ explain ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ so while dealing the human genome project we had discussed that 99.9% of the DNA is same, but 1% DNA is different to every individual. Okay, and these VNTRs, the repetitive sequence which are present, these repetitive sequence are different for every individual in the world. Okay, hence these VNTRs are used for the DNA fingerprinting technique. Then again a question arises, what is the application of DNA fingerprinting? DNA fingerprinting ಯಾಕೆ DNA fingerprinting ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಿದ್ರ ಉದ್ದೇಶ? Okay, so first thing, so DNA fingerprinting is mostly used in the forensic science to detect the criminals, or it might be the person who does the rapes. Okay, so criminals na ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. That is what we call it as a forensic science. One, it might be. So it is also used to detect the parental disputes. Okay, so whether the unknown son belongs to the parents or no. Okay, to detect their relationship, there also the DNA fingerprinting is used. Okay, even the DNA fingerprinting is used to identify the races, different racial groups what we are having. So ee janangak sertara, aa janangak amandi sertara, so to know that one, because as I told 50% of the VNTRs are transferred to the next generation. Okay, to find out the racial groups it is done. Okay, even to find out the inherited diseases, so from where they are inherited, either from the father or mother, or if their grandparents had that diseases, to identify the genetic discovery pedigree, for that also it is done. Okay, or even it is done to identify the dead soldiers in the war, if you are unable to identify their faces. Okay, soldiers in the ಮೊದಲೇ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, DNA fingerprinting already ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so when they die, when he is unable to identify, then what they will do, they will do the DNA fingerprinting test and match, and like this the dead soldiers can be identified. Okay, so like this there are plenty of applications of DNA fingerprints. Okay, so that was about today's class, that is DNA fingerprinting. Okay, thank you.